let's do a TBR video. So I want to break down the top books that are on my radar, on my reading list for 2026. Since the list was so long, I went ahead and broke this out into books I plan on using for the monthly book club. So these are 11 of the meat and potatoes books that I want to read this coming year. The first one is going to be The Overstory, a novel by Richard Powers. It was a winner of the Pulitzer Prize. If you see me looking, I did have to take notes on this one just because there's so many different books, and I want to be able to give an accurate description in case you're looking to read one of these or want to read along with the book club. So this one is, from what I can get, it's a book about trees and a different way of looking at them. And apparently, this book ties in a bunch of different fables, like different stories based somehow around trees and around nature that end up tying together and apparently make you look at the outside world different. This seems really interesting. I like to think that I like nature. I try to go on walks at the park and stuff like that. The problem is where I live, the weather is not great the majority of the time. So I like to think I like nature if the weather's perfect, So yeah, so the Overstory, a novel, I'd really like to check that one out. This one has been on my TBR for quite a while. This is The Professor and the Madman, a tale of murder, insanity, and the making of the Oxford English Dictionary. So this is a nonfiction, and it's exactly what it says it is. It is the story on how the Oxford English Dictionary was created. A professor was involved with it, and an actual crazy person, a madman, was involved with writing it as well. There is a movie that I saw a while back based off of this book with Mel Gibson and Sean Penn. And I remember really liking the movie. I didn't know that it was a book. It's a book, so I'm definitely going to be jumping into this one. The next one is going to be The Sea by John Banville. From what I can get, this seems like more of it's a shorter read, but it seems like classic romantic grief stuff like that. Just kind of it maybe on that Hamnet vibe kind of thing, but more new. It says like a guy goes back to Ireland after losing his wife, and I guess there's another family there that he grew up with that tells him stuff about his past. It just seems like a good story. Definitely, I will be checking out John Banville's The Sea. Gets a lot of really good reviews. This next one is a nonfiction that gets a lot of praise and just sounds absolutely crazy, and that's Hidden Valley Road: Inside the Mind of an American Family. So this was a #1 New York Times bestseller, and it follows a family with 12 children, and 6 of them have been diagnosed with schizophrenia. I can't even imagine that. As a parent to a special needs child, my son's nonverbal autistic. Uh, this book, it hits close to home, but theirs seems like on an extreme level. Also, from the cover, it looks like might be a little bit of a period piece. Yeah, it says the oldest was born in 1945. So this looks absolutely crazy. This will be coming up very, very shortly because it's been on my list for a while. Hidden Valley Road by Robert Kolker. The next one is going to be Children of Dune, Frank Herbert. So I've already read Dune and Dune Messiah. So Children of Dune is going to be the third book in the installment. And I have heard that the third Dune movie is supposed to drop later this year in 2026. So I have to be prepared for that because the first book was good. The second book was better. Dune Messiah was better than Dune. I hope that this keeps going in that direction with Children of Dune, and I'm very excited to pick this one up. The cover art on this one looks amazing. This deluxe edition with the illustrations looks really, really cool. The next one, and this is going to be, this came in recently from a recommendation from a viewer, a subscriber. So thank you. You know who you are if you recommended this. I don't like calling out people's tags, or I would. But Weird Scenes Inside the Canyon. Laurel Canyon, Covert Ops, and the Dark Heart of the Hippie Dream. Right up my alley. If you haven't watched, I'll include the link to Chaos, the Secret Society of the 60s, and the CIA by Tom O'Neill. That book covering the Manson scene, the 60s, the CIA operations that were going on is the best nonfiction I've read so far on the subject. And I really dig the 60s, the whole like the Laurel Canyon scene, all the covert operations that were going on. I'm a really big fan of like Camelot and the Kennedys and stuff like that. So this came recommended. This was also a #1 Times New York bestseller. So I can't wait to check this one out by David McGowan. So really looking forward to that, and thanks for the recommendation. The next one is going to be Recursion by Blake Crouch. So Blake Crouch, if you haven't read Dark Matter, I'll also have a link in this video to it. Go read it. Dark Matter is fantastic. Interdimensional travel, butterfly effect stuff. Blake Crouch's writing style is second to none. There's nothing like it. It reads like a script. It's very fast paced. They're thrillers. They're page turners. I always say in the descriptions, they're the definition of a page turner. So we're going to give this one a chance. I didn't like Pines, but I can't count them out. So this one looks like it follows a epidemic that is apparently driving people crazy, giving them memories of a life that they never lived. Sounds nuts. So looking forward to picking that one up. Next, we've got Black Mass. This is going to be another nonfiction. So Black Mass, Whitey Bulger, the FBI, and the Devil's Deal by Dick Lear and Gerald O'Neill. So if you don't, there is a movie, Black Mass, with Johnny Depp, but I think The Departed was also loosely based off of the Whitey Bulger story. Whitey Bulger was an organized crime figure based around like the Irish mob in South Boston. This deals with he was supposedly a CIA informant, an operative. The FBI was involved. The CIA. There was a big triangle with this Irish organized crime ring in South Boston. Can't wait to check this one out. This one's also right up my alley. Now we'll get back into some more fiction with The Prince of Tides by Pat Conroy. This book gets a lot of praise. It's a longer read, which I know we've made that mistake with the book club already, with Pillars of the Earth just being a gargantuan book. This one's a little bit longer. This one seems like some family drama, like a family story, just some good classic American writing. So I'm looking forward to jumping into this one. It's about a brother who learns his twin sister tried to commit suicide, so he goes back to New York. And it reads like the book is kind of her reliving like them growing up in her past to a psychiatrist. So it seems like a bunch of different stories that'll end up making a portrait of a family kind of thing. Gets a lot of good reviews, so we're definitely going to check that one out. I've really been wanting to read this for almost 2 years, and that's The Pale-Faced Lie by David Crow. This is the story of a violent ex-con who forces his son to commit crimes. It's a memoir, says, about a family and survival. Just looks really good. It has to do with also the, I think it's a Cherokee family, so it's going to have Native American elements to it, living in, I guess, post World War II. So this is, again, going to be a period piece. It is a true story. It seems like a super harrowing tale, so we're definitely going to be reading that. Butcher's Crossing by John Williams. We have to read it. I want to read it just because Stoner was so good. John Williams writing, if Butcher's Crossing is the same style of prose from Stoner, this is going to be a smash hit for myself for this year. coming in at only 274 pages. Why the hell not? We've got to read it for the book clubs. Definitely on the TBR. I heard about this one. I can't remember where I heard it from. It's Vietnam per Casey. I hope I'm saying that correctly. By W.D. Earhart. It's supposed to be a very autobibliographical account of the Vietnam War. They say it's the best to ever do it. It's an expensive book at only 328 pages for like $40, but it gets rave reviews. So it's a combat Marines memoir of Vietnam. It's going to be first person, supposed to be grim. There are some comical aspects, disturbing, accurate. It says the presentation is novelistic, page turner. All the events are real. The atmosphere is intense. So definitely want to check that one out. And then I figured for the month of October, the book club book would be Dracula, the first edition, 1897 version. I know it's been redone a couple of times, but we're going to stick with the original by Bram Stoker because October, Halloween, which is now officially my favorite holiday. And we're definitely going to be doing Dracula. So that's the meat and potatoes of the TBR for 2026. Some other notable mentions are Shogun, historical fiction, feudal Japan, samurais. I think a guy gets like shipwrecked out there and marooned in feudal Japan. It's one of the longer novels, I think, ever. So we'll see how long that takes. Something Wicked This Way Comes by, who is this by? By Ray Bradbury. This one also might be a Halloween time read. It's about a like kind of a creepy carnival. I love carnival stuff. The circus. It's very nostalgic. I really like it. I have a love-hate relationship with clowns, so this is right up my alley. Also, Red Rising by Pierce Brown. I have the book. I started it. I only read like 20 pages of it. People go nuts over this series, so might pick this one back up. And then if some of these other books were too long, I figured the Lost Van Gogh by Jonathan Sandlofer. I started reading this one as well. It's really good. I don't know why I haven't finished it. Apparently, this lady gets a hold of a lost Van Gogh. It gets stolen, and it's kind of a whodunit chase to get it back. And I was really enjoying it. So actually, this one might become a book club one to sneak in and take the place of something else, just because it's short, it's an easy read, and it's fun. That is the meat and potatoes, the bulk of the 2026 TBR. Let me know what you think. I like the recommendations, and I will read them. And some of the better books I've read have come from recommendations from you guys. So always feel free to drop me a line. And as always, thanks for stopping by. Keep reading. Talk soon.